Now, for the slope, intercept, and standard forms, what we need to master here is to know is the skill of moving over, changing the sign, getting rid of the denominators, or changing a slope intercept form, the y equals mx plus b form, to ax positive and negative b y equals c. Okay, but before we talk about those stuff, let's go ahead and find the y-intercept of this segment. What is the y-intercept of this segment? Okay, it looks like the graph is crossing -4, so the y-intercept is -4. So y-intercept is -4. But how about the slope? Let's see. Again, start from the bottom point, you go up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So the slope is 6/5. Is it going to be positive or negative? Well, we went right, so it's going to be positive. Now, to write the equation of this, remember we have y equals mx plus b before. Okay? So we have y equals, first we must know the m. M stands for the slope. When we're given here, slope is 6/5, and then we can add the x. And then b is going to be your y-intercept, and your y-intercept is -4, but because it's negative, I'm just going to erase that and change it with -4. Here it is. This is your y equals mx plus b, or we call it slope. Intercept form. Now, why do we call it slope-intercept form? Because the slope is given and the intercept, the y-intercept, is given. That's why we call it slope-intercept form. But here we go. This is your slope-intercept form, and that is your standard form. Standard form means your x and y terms should be on the left side, and then the right side is going to be your c. But make sure your leading term x is positive. So let's say, for example, here, this is in slope-intercept form. Okay, the slope is 2/5, y-intercept is -4. How are we going to change this to that form? First, we do not allow fraction when we want, if we want it to be in the standard form. So let's go ahead and get rid of fraction. Now, how do we get rid of fraction? Get rid of the denominator. Now, we learned in the first chapter of our lesson that if you have a fraction, I hate fraction, you hate fraction, then we need to get rid of 5. To get rid of that denominator, all you have to do is to just multiply everything by the denominator that you want to get rid. There you go. So now I have 5y equals, I just got rid of 5, and now that remains me of 2x, and minus 5 times 4 is 20. Okay, my objective is to make sure that both x and y are on the left side. So I'll go ahead and move that 2x over to the left. So that becomes -2x. When you move a term over the equal sign, you got to change the sign. It's positive, and I make sure I'll make it negative. Now, and then I'm just going to write down 5y. I did not change the 5y because 5y is already on the left. I did not change the -20 because I need that -20 over to the right. Again, in standard form, we want the leading term, the one with x, to be positive. So if you want this to be positive, you have to multiply everything by negative, or just change the signs. All of their signs is negative, becomes 2x. This positive becomes negative. is negative becomes positive. Now that we have x having a positive sign, that's it. That is now the standard form of your equation. Okay? You can pause your computer if you're confused, go back and master how to change a slope-intercept form to a standard form. Now, this time we have the standard form, and what we need to do this time is to change it to slope-intercept form. Now, according to the slope-intercept form, your y is alone. So, we need to isolate y here. We need to have y alone on the left side. Now, if we want to have that negative 7y, okay, let's start with negative 7y. We want it alone on the left side. That means we got to move that negative 3x over, becomes negative 3x. Okay, and then we keep that 2. But wait, our objective is to make sure we have y alone. And that negative 7, we need to get rid of that. We need to divide everything by negative 7. Boom. And now you have negative divided by negative is positive. We cannot do anything with 3 over 7. So keep it that way. And then you have the x. Positive divided by negative is negative 7. We cannot do anything with 2 over 7. And now for your slope-intercept form, y is equal to 3 over 7x minus 2 over 7. Your slope is 3 over 7. Your y-intercept is negative 2. So basically on your EOC, if you have this equation and the question is, what is the slope of this line? Change it to slope-intercept form, then it's going to be 3 over 7. If the question is, what is the y-intercept of this line? Slope-intercept form again, the y-intercept is negative 2 over 7. Now, how about here? How about if the question is, what is the slope? Slope, that means we need to do that. So, having this equation, I want the slope, that means I need y alone. So I'm just going to copy 5y, and I need that 3x and negative 3 over to the right. 3x over becomes negative. Negative 3 over becomes positive. Again, you want to have y alone. So that means we have to divide everything by 5. Okay, here we go. Negative 3 over 5x plus 3 over 5. Now again, your slope is negative 3 over 5. Easy, huh? Now how about if the question on your EOC is, given this equation, what is the standard form? Standard form is we want x and y both on the left side and the constant c with the constant to the other side. All you have to do is just move that negative 3 over. When you move a term over the equal sign, you have to change the sign. So therefore you have 3x plus 5y equals negative 3 over to the right becomes positive 3. Both of them are on the left side. A constant is on the other side. Your x is positive. Done. Now, one of the difficult questions on the EOC is having all of them in fraction form. Most of the time, they're going to give you this, and then they're going to ask you for the slope. Okay, slope again, this one. If they ask for the y-intercept, you're going to apply the same thing. We need y alone. But we cannot solve for y if all of them are having fractions. So how about this? You hate fractions, I hate fractions. Let's go ahead and get rid of all the fractions. Let's start with 2. Multiply everything by 2. Multiply everything by 2, 2, 2. Just to get rid of that 2. And now I have 1x or simply x. Right here. Okay? 2 times 3 is 6 over 4. Of course, we have the y. We're going to copy that one. And now 2 times 2 is 4. Okay. Now, let's get rid of 4. Multiply everything by 4. Multiply by 4, 4, 4. And now I have 4x. Here you go. Just cancel it out. Minus 6y equals 16 over 3. Now, we got rid of 2, we got rid of 4. Let's go ahead and get rid of that crazy 3. I don't need you 3, I don't need that, so we have to multiply everything by 3. 3 times 4 is 12x. Negative 18y. And now cancel out. Oh, I know it's a long process, but first you really need to make sure you get rid of those denominators. And now let's go ahead and solve for y. I need the y alone, so I'm going to keep that negative 18. Y equals. Okay, let me erase this part. Negative 18y equals, I need this to be alone, so I need to move that 12, becomes negative 12x, and then keep that 16, then divide everything. I need to have y alone, divide everything by negative 18, and then negative 18. Cancel out, y is equal to, negative divided by negative is positive, so 12 divided by 18 is, they can be divided by 2, so it will be 6 and 9. They can be divided by 3, it can be 2 and 3. 6 divided by 3 is 2, 9 divided, okay, 2 over 3. 2 over 3, and then x, here we go, plus, both of them can be divided by 2, and now I have positive divided by negative is negative. Now I have 8. 16 divided by 2 is 8. Negative 18 divided by 2 is 9. Here you go. So again, on the EOC, if the question is find the slope, it is 2 over 3. Okay, now figure out, guys, what's happening in here. There must be something wrong here, so you guys let me know if you figured out what's wrong in this process. And then go back to the website www.marlonreles.com and go to the quiz part of it and complete the quiz.